y'all, Megan and Keri Reese here, bringing you our edition of Valley and Beyond's top 3 so far in the year 2014. Basically, in this series we are going to be covering any band we have seen and place we have been in the first 3.5 months of this year. And this time we're going to be bringing you not so local bands. In other words, they are bands that do not have members that reside in the Lehigh Valley, but they play in the Lehigh Valley at least once or twice a year. The number 1 band we chose is Matey. They are a Wilkes-Barre area based band. They play at least monthly, usually sometimes 2 or 3 times a month at some place in the Lehigh Valley. The members are keyboardist Ryan Kaufman, guitarist Ryan Williams, frontman Brian Harmony, frontwoman Jane Train, bassist Les Eckhart, drummer Tony Gordon, aka Gordy. And we chose them as the number 1 band because they have multiple members that takes lead vocals on songs. They do some real awesome type of mixes. They have one mix where they go note for note, switching back and forth between the songs I Love Rock and Roll and Pour Some Sugar on Me. That should be verse for verse, not note for note. Yes, verse for verse. And the chemistry as a band is strong. You can tell they enjoy performing. You can tell that as a band overall they seem to be a pretty tight-knit band. They also have a little bit of a kookiness to them when they're up on stage, especially when it comes to Les and Ryan Williams with backup vocals. They like to throw in all kinds of weird things just to throw Jan and Brian off guard. I'm pretty sure that's what they do and get a laugh out of the crowd. They try to throw them off track, but most of the time they just get a look out of them like, okay. And no matter where they play, they draw a crowd. And they always have some type of crowd interaction in it. Whether it's someplace where they can get completely off stage, like when they play Sam's, when Jan goes up and walks around in the VIP section, sits on the edge of the VIP section, or go over to the smaller VIP area and they'll like stand up on the edge of the bench there or whatever. Or when Les does his song, a couple songs he does, he likes to get out into the crowd the whole time he's singing, and they usually try to do like a crowd choice song. To pick 2 songs, let the crowd pick, and they tell them make sure you don't say no, because the no just sounds like a cheer. So they go by the loudest opinion, which is a crowd choice song, and they crowd pick the song, or they'll bring people up on stage with them. If it's a birthday, or if it's a bachelorette party, whatever, to bring people up for a song or 2. And they also do take requests at almost every show. They'll tell people if there's anything they want to know, just let them. Some bands don't do that. And that's why we chose them for number 1. So to recap, we chose Matey for number 1 because they do some awesome mixes. They're great with crowd interaction. They are a tight band. They sound good together. You can tell they enjoy it. All around, they're a pretty tight band. Good band chemistry, and basically that's why we chose them as number 1. Coming in at a very close number 2 is Go-Go Gadget. They are a Reading-based band who just recently, the beginning of this year, under a slight lineup change when guitarist Chris, frontman Jeff, drummer Mikey, and bassist Nate welcomed, I guess it's a co-frontman slash keyboardist, Eric, into the band. And one of the aspects Eric has brought to the band that you haven't seen done in the past with them is Eric and Jeff does a dueling piano, where it's just the two of them up there. They'll just play a couple songs.
The whole rest of the band.
The rest of the band will get off stage for the 2-3 songs that they do. They'll have just the two of them with the two keyboards. And the two of them be up there with keyboards, and you just hear they do songs that are more like mellower songs. You don't hear good like Piano Man and stuff like that.
Benny and the
Jets, Piano Man. Slightly older songs, but they're good because they're songs that you don't hear too often.
And they also do some other unique stuff that a lot of bands don't do. They do power hours, where they shove 60 songs into 60 minutes, which is very popular with the crowd. They have, with that, they basically pick 60 songs. They have several different setups of it. They just do about a minute per song. And they also have a stomp number and a stomp guitar number, which are basically the same. They use like garbage cans or balers or whatever, buckets, and they use them as drums. But with the stomp guitar, they add a bass and a guitar into it.
Actually, no, it's two guitars.
Oh, okay, two guitars.
They have Nate and Chris Bruce playing guitars with Mikey, Jeff, and Eric on the drums for the stock guitar. Or for the regular stomp number, they have all 5 members on the drums.
And while they don't get off stage very much, they do interact with the crowd. As they're performing, they're getting people's faces to sing to them, the cake requests, and they do have a good chemistry as a band. If you didn't know that Eric just joined them, you wouldn't know watching them. So to recap,
Well, just to add real quick, that with Gadget, at most venues, some venues they don't have any, some they just have a small amount, but they do have a full-blown light show in which they have a backing board that they have programmed for all the songs and stuff to have. Sometimes it's a video playing in the background, sometimes it's just light effects, and that just adds to it. And they also, another way they get into with the crowd,
how can we forget this one?
the glow sticks. They throw glow sticks out. Yes, glow sticks. And yes, this is for the grown-ups, not just shows with kids. You'd be surprised, people love them.
Okay, so to recap now, we chose Gadget because they do good with crowd interaction. They work well together. They do stuff you haven't seen other people do before.
They had only crooks in the band where they have the aspects, different routines in the band, in the show that they don't have. They have the backing board and stuff, which really brings to the show. They keep fans happy by giving them glow sticks. It works. What can I say?
Okay, and at number
3,
to finish off this list, we have the band Drop Dead Sexy. They are a Philadelphia area based band. And they have been around for quite a while. I think something like 15 years or something like that. But their members are Scott on keys and guitars and vocals. Paul is the frontman. Dave is bass and vocals.
They have the Johnny as the drummer, Justin as the lead guitarist. Johnny and Justin both do vocals as well. And
rounding out the band, they have,
I guess it'd be a co-frontman.
kind of a
Co-frontman.
do everything guy.
Co-frontman, guitarist, sax player, whatever you want to call him. Who they have
Referred
to simply as Ducky.
Anyway, we chose them to be the number 3 band because
They bring props to the shows. They're not afraid to act silly, and
by props we mean like they have a blow-up doll they bring up sometimes.
they have wigs or straw hats, or for
The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Justin to put on a devil's mask.
And instead of being a fiddle player, it's a guitar player.
And when they do
They'll mix songs.
hold on, when they do Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy, they'll have a stick horse, I believe they call it.
Kind of like little kids would use, like a long stick with a horse's head on it.
So it's just props like that that gives that type of stuff.
And they also do song mixes. Well, yeah, mixes where they do, a lot of times it'll be by the same artist, where they'll have like Low by Flo Rida, then like Hot in, no, not by
Idea
the
by
same,
Nelly
no,
and Low by Flo Rida mixed.
or they have a boy band melody they do, which is basically Backstreet Boys and NSYNC in it.
And I believe 98 Degrees, somebody else is in there.
Okay, well maybe a third one's mixed in, but it's like 90s boy band music.
So it's basically they have a bunch of song mixes, but they have several song mixes. Most of it is full songs, but then they have a few song mixes.
And they do well with crowd interaction. They do take requests and stuff like that.
And they have the crowd interaction. They go out to they might ask a audience what they want to hear once in a while,
Or Ducky will be out in the audience. They take pictures themselves sometimes to use up on the website.
to take pictures of the audience, of just the audience, or one of them with the audience, or just another band member up on stage or something.
So to recap, we chose Drop Dead Sexy as a number 3 not so local band because the professional, they like to use props, they mix songs, but they also don't mix songs, and they perform well as a band. So you can check all 3 of these bands out. I'm pretty sure we covered them all at some point since we started with the magazine. Links can also
be found with the video.
So till next time, peace out, y'all.